Every month I ask someone to share. I give them an assignment and they come up with something wonderful. We're extremely fortunate to have this gentleman who's one of my favorite writers and improvisers and does a lot of great projects. He's done some things on this show before. I gave him the assignment of advice to a 12-year-old boy because I don't know if I want my nephew following my path, but he probably needs some advice from somebody. Please open your hearts for the very talented Joel Dale and Cheryl.
So, when Emmett asked me to do this, go back a little bit. You're at it way early. There we go. So now I know you can read that. When Emmett asked me to do this, I thought it was a nice honor since it is his birthday. I took responsibility and that I should do well, so then panic set in. Next slide. These are the parameters by which, there we go, I'm supposed to do this. This is, the theme is advice for a 12-year-old. I must share something I know about. It's Emmett's birthday, which is pressure. Emmett likes very personal and uncomfortable things. And there's an actual 12-year-old in the audience. Where is the 12-year-old right now? Raise your hand. Right there. Excellent. Okay, so I was like, how do I put all of those together? This is House of the Dead for the Sega Saturn. I recently sold off my childhood and got $100 for this on eBay. It's really worth $150. I paid $60 for it. So I feel like I got gypped, but I made a profit. This is Burning Rangers, one of the final games ever made for the Sega Saturn. You play a futuristic firefighter. I got $150 on eBay for this one. That is about correct. I'm 41 and single. This is Radiant Silver Gun. I own this. It's a Japanese import. I found an eBay auction. They're asking $163 for this game. It retailed for about $60. It has a lot of chaos in it, and your life is going to have a lot of chaos in it, 12-year-old. You know, in grade school, like 12, it's the 6th grade, and you know, when I was in grade school, there, you know, that girl or that guy that you just wanted to befriend, that you saw somewhere on the playground or whatever, you just wanted to be their friend, but you didn't exactly know why, so then you did things so that they would come and talk to you, like steal their book bag. Let's say this person's name is Guy, okay? And you took Guy's book bag and he had to come over and say, oh, and you went, oh, and it was a fun moment, you gave the book bag back. So this created a relationship that you kept doing. So you kept taking the book bag, so he kept coming to talk to you. And then one day after school, maybe you just happened to be playing with everybody after school and you took the book bag and you walked really far and you're hoping the guy would come and talk to you, but he didn't, so you kept going, and then you realized you passed the point of no return and you couldn't see Guy anymore because you'd almost gotten home, and now you didn't know what to do, so you happened to see his neighbors and you gave the bag to his neighbors and you're like, okay, that's great, but then a half hour later, Guy showed up in your neighborhood not knowing where he was, sobbing, crying very, very much, wondering why someone would take his bag, and you're like, oh no, it's okay, I gave it to your neighbor, so everything worked out. That is called your preference. When you're around 16, we're going to add a word to the front of that, but for now, it's your preference. This is Snatcher. This game is very rare. It's for the Sega CD. I happen to own a copy. That is my actual copy in my hand. An auction right now with a day and a half left is getting $250 for this game. This game is about robots that are going to take over humanity. And the way you can tell robots apart from humans is that their fake skin it gets skin cancer more easily than a human being. So the lesson here is wear sunblock. As a video gaming nerd, I don't see a lot of sun. But I got skin cancer anyways, strangely enough, because it happens in your youth. Every 6 sunburns you get, it doubles your chance of getting skin cancer. So I don't want to make you paranoid, okay? I'm not saying that. Just use protection. In fact, use protection. Always use. We're talking about sunblock. Use protection. Especially when you turn 16. Sunblock protection. This is Panzer Dragoon Saga. This is, yes, some of you might know this. There were only about 5,000 copies of this game, I think, were made. I just bought it because I was a Sega fan. I never played through it. On auction right now, 3 hours left, it's getting $250.99 with 14 bids. With 3 hours left, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes for $350 because it's that rare and that sought after. You need to make friends with people who are 20 years your junior. My grandmother was in her 90s and the people visiting her in the hospital were in their 70s. Because the other people 90 weren't there anymore. So you need to make friends with people who are 20 years your junior, which means you need to make friends with someone who's -8. Which might not have any meaning for you at this point, because I don't know when you learn about negative numbers. I forget this. So let me explain. When you go to junior high, find the 14, 15-year-olds that are a couple and you think they're going to be a thing, and just follow them until they have their first child and befriend the child. Not everything is dour, you know, loss of friends and stuff. This game, Streets of Rage 2, which is one of the greatest games of all time. I spent $70 on this in college. I would play this game every single day with my roommate at 4 p.m. And we would play also Sprach Zarathustra, which is also known as the theme to 2001, walk around the dormitory with our arms in the air until it ended, and then we would play this game. I also had a friend that would play the Wonder Woman theme song, and we'd wear pillows for hats on our head and stand in people's doorways and dance. But it was fun because those people were there, they were in the room. In today's disconnected universe, you meet people differently. This is an actual screenshot of my PlayStation 3. It says players met. So you know I met people because it tells me I did. These are people I know. Look at that long list of people that I know. There's one, Samurai Duke. I don't know if you can read this very well. Samurai Duke gets to send me emails. He talks Ryu, he's talking about Street Fighter, Sonic the Hedgehog, Awesome Game, Shank 2, which is also a game. Here's what it says, I wish I had more. Let's read I wish I had more. Friends. Oh. So the moral of the story is need actual people. You know, you need to have people that don't play games and people that do play games. You need to have a lot of different people in your life. Artists, crazy people, comedians, political people, all sorts of different things. But you definitely need people that will share this with you.
Bill Dale, everybody. Hey, Leo. Leo. I know you were there. Leo. You around?
Yeah, he's just raising his hand.
Oh. What'd you learn?
Many things.
Okay. Fantastic. Good work.